All right, let's criticize the realists. Why are realists criticized? Well, the answer is D here. All of the above. Realists are criticized for under-anticipating or over-anticipating war. Irrational theories and analogies may play a role when deciding to go to war. Realists seem to focus mainly on national interests and provide slight importance to internal politics, which leads to deciding what is the appropriate balance of power. Now, so here let's go with the first sentence here. Realists are criticized for under anticipating and over anticipating war, right? So when you under anticipate war, you leave yourself vulnerable for the first strike. Okay, we can consider the isolation theory that the United States practiced before they got attacked from Pearl Harbor, right? In Pearl Harbor, in Hawaii. So over anticipating war. Okay, so we're constantly we need surround ourselves by allies, not enemies, right? So over anticipating war would be um, building security belts, right? Forming alliances with Canada and Mexico, our neighbors. Like, hey, listen, it's either you're with us or you're against us, okay? So Canada would kind of be forced into this position where, hey, listen, if I don't agree to the United States terms, then they might go to war with us. Okay, irrational theories and analogies may play a role when deciding to go to war. Let's take into consideration um, the theory of what happened in Guatemala in attempting to use the same practice in Cuba, right? So, I guess in the 1950s and 1960s, a special operations group was sent to Guatemala so they can liberate themselves. All right, it was successful. All right, now that theory they attempted to use the same theory on Cuba. All right, so same thing. They sent special forces operations group undercover. By the time you know it, the Bay of Pigs. I'm sorry, and Cuba was expecting them, and the United States quickly took a loss there. All right, now that was a irrational theory and analogy that played a role when deciding to go to war, because that could have led into World War III, which probably would have been a nuclear war. Okay, irrational theories. Moving along, realists seem to focus mainly on national interests and provide slight importance to internal politics, which leads to deciding what is appropriate for what is the appropriate balance of power. So here, let's break this down. What is the appropriate balance of power? Once again, I've said this plenty of times, right? You attempt to build the biggest weapon, the most dangerous weapon. You kind of throw off this aura that, hey, listen, yeah, I'm getting ready for war, okay? Look at me, I'm here, I'm ready for war, I'm building a weapon. And you cause somewhat of a security dilemma there, all right? We'll discuss thoroughly what security dilemma is, right? Now it says here, realists seem to focus mainly on national interests and provide slight importance to internal politics, all right? Now, just because we are, and this also correlates to this balance of power thing here, right? Just because you're considered a superpower, good stable economy, massive population, um, great middle class structure, um, rich, we'll sort of say, right? This doesn't mean that you're powerful in weak states, okay? Because look what happens in Mexico, for a great example, right? We don't have too much of a foreign policy national feud going on with the government itself. No, the government, their government, the Mexican government, is struggling with internal politics, right? So that's why it's considered a weak state, because their civilians are not, not civil to the American standards, where they are law-abiding citizens. They're refugees, they're rebels, they're drug dealers, and things like that. So they're vigilantes. They take the law into their own hands, and they do what they need to do to survive. All right. So their problem is not state-centered. It's more internal. We'll say, like, like city, town. All right. And now that's deciding basically the balance of power. So they are considered a weak state because Mexico specifically speaking is considered a weak state because they don't have full control over their society. United States is on top because they do. Here we have a great police system, great fire department, great medical system. Okay, water, great irrigation system that works out. Cities, stable economy. Low crime rate. We do produce the majority of the guns, but and we do consume majority. We're the number one consumers worldwide. Probably China beats us, but drug wise, yes, we're the number one consumers here on the Western Hemisphere. Okay, and this is basically what the balance of power, the hierarchy of balance of power, is deciding who has the ultimate power. All right, weak states, you know, Mexico, even what else is a weak state? Off the top of the head, I want to say that Iraq is considered a weak state due to the fact that they do have a lot of uh, religious rebels going around, refugees, the Sunni Shiite conflicts and things like that. We'll discuss what's going on in the Middle East when we talk about the Gulf wars. But they're also considered a weak state because another state has to interfere into one sovereignty. All right.